Hello, Zhead Motor Vlogs here, and welcome to this cheeky little Thursday night live stream. For everyone who is tuning in live, welcome. For anyone who is catching up on YouTube after the event and it's been uploaded, thank you very much for taking the time to watch what we're doing tonight. We have two guests at the moment. We have Jim Diesel and we have Rev Bomb. So how are you doing, guys?
Yes, all good.
All right,
yeah.
how are you?
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. How's everyone's week been?
I'll let
Busy.
Red Bomb go first.
Yeah, busy, wet. Obviously, if people that obviously follow my channel, and I have been shouting out to all these guys up here, so check out my videos. But yeah, nice sunny day the other day, and then it absolutely hammered it down yesterday. So got absolutely soaked, and then this morning 2 ride tests abandoned because we had a Force 2 gale, so that was all abandoned. I wasn't going to go out on a 50cc and get blown from all over the road. So yeah, but otherwise still selling bikes, still going well, and having a good time.
Yeah, I've been sat on my arse doing nothing. I haven't been out, get out on the bike or anything. It's been horrendous. So
yeah,
I'm going to try and get out this weekend. But,
I did watch your short earlier, Jim. Where did you put your drink in the end?
Yeah, I was curious.
I had to stick it. So that was from the video that I did with Brad when we did our Burger King and McDonald's challenge. And so all those short videos all recycled from previous videos that I've done in 2020. So yeah, I just stuck it on. I had to stick the burger and that on me yoke on my bike and the handlebars.
It's a great idea.
Ride it up to a parking space. But
it's a great idea. See when you posted the shot when the two of you were sitting there, it's like, and I knew. I had mine already scheduled to play yesterday.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
Yeah, I've still got to do my one. That is sat on the computer that's crashed, where I've actually pulled up at the local McDonald's, and I had to stop at the speaker, and she went, "I can't hear you. I can't come from the window." And I said, "Do you serve filthy French fries?" And she went, "Why is that?" I said, "I just wondered if you serve a filthy French fry." And she went, "No, we don't serve filthy French fries." I went, "That's all right. You just wanted to know."
They didn't get that, did they?
But yeah, all good.
Yeah, cool.
A little hello to Flying Jock. He's one of the Scottish motor vloggers. One of my friends. Welcome to the live chat. How are you doing, buddy? Brad, I'm just going to drop the StreamYard link into the side chat if you want to use that to come in.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah, there's Brad. Yeah, see, I'm not getting the live chat coming up on my phone. Just looking on here, it's coming up on my computer, but not on my.
I don't know. It's like sometimes it can be.
Oh, there it is. Popped up. Yeah.
Right. Sometimes it can be a wee bit funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a kind of sort of strange week. I was fitting the discs to the bike and discovered that, to my embarrassment, I need a new rear tire because I've shredded it. So,
hey guys,
Brad, how are you doing?
Hey, Brad, how you doing?
I'm having stress with my email. Sorry, Zed. I've been struggling with it. I couldn't get it to get the link.
You're quite all right, my friend. You're quite all right, and welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming along. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to introduce Diesel Hog Vlog. So how's your week been, buddy?
That way, isn't it?
It was the week from hell.
Oh man!
I just finished my shift yesterday, so today's my first day off, and it was 8 days of just solid nightmare. Right?
Oh.
So glad it's over. Nice to be here and not there.
Yeah.
And you guys, how's everybody today?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, weather it didn't rain today, but it was super windy where I am.
Yes.
But, yeah, getting blown around.
Rev.
Yes.
What's this?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, he's having a bit of salt and pepper.
He's catching up. He's catching up.
He's catching up, yeah.
I had to shave mine off because I had to go back to work. So
I did catch up on your pulled pork burger today.
Yes,
So
I saw that. Yeah.
I know, it's like just that made me hungry for the rest of the day.
That's
well, we had
good.
to go at the meatloaf anyway.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, nice, yeah, very good.
Did you use the pork rinds?
Oh yes.
Attaboy.
we sat there watching the video. And, I got to be done. Got to do it your way. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. That's great.
Yeah,
Hey,
it was all good.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, so reference your back tyre, how much, well, what mileage do you get out of your back then before you have to replace it? Obviously,
Well,
depending on how heavy you are on the twisting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like some of the roads up in Scotland, I've got the sort of what is it you call it? It's like that ultra grip stuff around the corners.
Repeat, yes, yeah.
So like especially in the summer when you're going round these corners,
Yeah.
tends to tear them up a bit. So 5,000, and I'm looking at I'm
wow.
pushing it.
5,000 miles?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you did a European tour, wouldn't it? You did a couple of thousand,
Yeah.
Out
Yeah.
to Europe. You'd be having to get a new wheel when
I
you get
would,
back. I suppose.
yeah, I'd have to plan to get tyres while I was out. Definitely.
Yeah.
So how much does that cost for a tire like that over there, Zed?
Well, the rear, it's a Battleaxe BT023, which is, I was talking to Jim about it earlier. It's a touring tyre, so it's a dual compound. It's hard in the middle and it's softer compound on the edges to allow more grip when you're cornering.
Right.
And that retails about £107 just for that tyre. And then
Yeah, it's not too bad, isn't it?
if I'm changing the back tyre, I'll change the front just as a matter of course.
Yeah.
Although, again, as I was saying to Jim, my mechanic said, you'll get 2 rears to every front, but I don't buy into that.
No.
We say change them up as a pair. Yeah, change them up as a pair.
Because that's what I'm saying. Your grip levels will be different on both of them. So
Yeah.
no, just for peace of mind, no, just change it. Change them together.
BT023s are a good tyre. You tend to get your BT023s on your big tourers like the GSs and all that. So
Yeah.
road going bikes, we tend to sort of recommend either go Michelin's or Pirelli Superforces. But 2 CT, two compound treads are really good.
Yeah.
That's
But
surprising.
if you have got a sports bike, you can tear them up very, very quick.
So
What
you're on the throttle hard all the time, Zed, or is that just cruising nice? Or
it's
okay,
it's like officer.
yeah. I did my back tire 3 seasons ago, and I was doing about 8,000 or 9,000 a season. So basically 25,000 on the back. It'll be due this year, and my front I did last year, and I had just over 35,000 on the front.
Yeah, that's good.
That's my big bagger.
That is my last rear on mine. Oh, let's get it on camera.
Oh,
That's
check you out.
Somebody else is
Ah.
a little hard too.
It's called wearing the
Using
chicken
a sander on
strips.
Yeah.
So the things that have happened this week that made me want to sort of have this live stream and to invite you guys on was a couple of announcements that were made. Now, everything that I'm about to sort of talk about now relates to Brad's Damon Hypersports vlog.
Okay.
Because if you remember, after you had posted that vlog, Brad, that we all were on a live stream and we were all talking about the pros and cons of electric bikes and whatever.
Yep.
So there's been an announcement made just recently. It was actually, I saw or heard of the announcement on Monday night while I was watching 44 Teeth on their Monday night vlog that they do. And the announcement that was made, and I'm going to post it up here, is a swappable battery agreement signed between Honda, Piaggio, KTM, and Yamaha. Now, that actually goes on from what we were talking about on that live stream with regards to wouldn't it be good if you could just drive into a garage and pull a battery off the shelf and put another battery into your bike. Now I'm going to share a screen with you if I can. This is where it all goes wrong. But
such an amazing idea. It's going to be such a game changer, isn't it? Doing that.
Absolutely. So if I go on to that now, this is the article here. It's in Motorcycle News, and basically, I'll make it full screen so you can sort of see it, and I'll jump on to this, which allows me. So you can see the big bank of batteries and the idea that they've got. Swap and go.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like obviously they've got that liveried as Honda, and it will go into whatever the compartments.
Yeah.
So what it's it's amazing. So I mean, what it's saying is they've signed an agreement to create a swappable batteries consortium with a view to standardising batteries in electric bikes. Battery standardisation has been one of the key stumbling blocks to electrification, but it looks like this will finally be overcome.
So that's on scooters, is it?
Well, I think possibly that is the starting point. It looks as if because KTM, Honda, Yamaha, and Piaggio, as Red Bull will testify, are massive in the scooter industry. So if there is some sort of agreement that brings these batteries in line, that becomes user friendly, becomes rolled out throughout all the countries, and is proven, then all the other electric bike manufacturers are going to have to take note.
So I'll play devil's advocate to that a little bit. And I know during the live stream, I did mention interchangeable batteries would be great. But if you look at, so that's scooters and what they showed there, popping those in the back, fantastic. But if you're talking a performance bike, like a sport bike, like the Damon Hypersport, half the structure of that bike is battery. The Harley Davidson is the same. So that would be a major design change to incorporate something like that. And the consumption on those batteries is huge. So I think what we might see instead of that would probably be batteries that are still structural to the machine, but that will charge way faster. And if the Damon does charge very fast, what was it, 30 minutes to 80% on the performance charger. So that's pretty impressive by today's standards, and I'm sure that's going to get better. But for scooters and stuff like that, your little in-town people movers, I think that'd be a great idea. Just pull in, slap a pack, it's faster than getting gas. So you know that's a great idea, but I think it's going to struggle with the high performance electrics.
I would probably agree with you.
It catches up in it, and then.
Yep, and my concern with them actually having this agreement is, will we end up with a VHS versus Betamax scenario where a couple of different manufacturers bring out different sizes of batteries, and it's the survival of the fittest to whichever one. And my idea to combat that would be to tender the manufacturer or the design of a battery out to a battery manufacturer, throwing it out there like Tesla or any of the other battery manufacturers, and through an agreement with everyone who signs into this swappable battery agreement, if they agree that this is the better battery, it fits our platform better, then that be it Tesla or whoever it is, they then license that battery and allow the other companies to manufacture it under license. I think that would be a sensible way forward with it.
So, do you guys think that the lithium battery? Do you think lithium is going to be the way it stays? And I'll ask. The reason I ask that question is I don't, because I know the Hurt Feelings Club loves to take a dump on my industry, the petroleum industry, and how we're wrecking the planet. Have you ever seen a lithium mine? So it's a massive crater in the earth. It's an absolute travesty. And is it sustainable? I don't know. Like, is it sustainable? How much lithium is in the ground? Like, I'm sure it's not near as much fossil fuel. But do you think maybe battery technology is going to have to move away from lithium just because?
That's the drama, isn't it? That's the issue, isn't it? Is the battery technology is going to have to change. But then there was another thing, wasn't it? They said that who was it? Was it Porsche that have come up with a synthetic fuel that you can? So they've come up with a synthetic fuel. Oh, it is. But did you see what Bike Beards and Bruiser said? Sorry, Bike Beards and Bruiser comment about the Harley Davidson on fire, the live wire in Florida.
On fire. Common story. Tesla's light on fire. A Nissan Leaf's light on fire. A Chevy Volt's light on fire. Lithium fires are vicious, violent things, and I don't want one in my garage. I'll tell you that right now. And it's usually when they're on the charger that the problem is, and that's in your garage at night or next to your house. And I'll tell you, it makes me worried.
See, the lithium batteries first started with the drones, because a lot of the drones were using little UAV drones. And the first thing you had to do was obviously nice little flat rectangular battery. And the first check you had to do was actually run your fingers along the top to see if the battery was bulging. And if it was starting to bulge, you got battery away, because you knew that would go pop before long.
Yeah, but I mean, like Samsung, they remember the phone that they brought out that was just going on fire in people's pockets. And that was exactly the same, because it was actually the battery was short circuiting. It was overheating, and it was actually popping the screens, and it was.
So, do any of you guys wear Apple Watches?
No.
So I do, but I got up one morning and it's just a little magnetic charger on the back, induction charger, and I popped it off and I threw it on my wrist, and I looked and my screen was actually popped up a little bit on my watch, and so I'm looking at it, and so I thought the little seal let go or something, and here the little lithium battery in there, it's just like a little balloon. The casing around it was all puffed up. So I sent an email to Apple. And because I read an article that for the first 3 generations or 4, I can't remember, they knew that they had a battery problem. So, of course, they said, oh, your warranty's over. Too bad, so sad. And I said, I'm not sure about that. And I had a back and forth with them for quite a while. So if you know anybody that has one, bitch at Apple, because it's public knowledge that they knowingly put faulty batteries in their watches, and they sent me a brand new one for free. It took about 5 emails and absolute deniability, and all of a sudden, well, okay, we'll do it for you this time. And I thought, well, you're going to do it every time. So, but then problems, right? So
Mike Spears and Brew just brought up a good comment there. Lithium is already starting to go away, because a lot of people are now looking at this nanotechnology, so nanogels and all the new stuff.
And this is the thing, is like the technology is moving that fast that the industry doesn't know what way to go. But I've noticed recently a massive shift towards electric vehicles with all the manufacturers, which leads me quite seamlessly, as if I had almost planned it, onto the next topic, which I would like Brad's opinion on, and that is Harley Davidson announced the appointment of a CEO, which is the Chief of Electric Vehicle Ops, Ryan Morrissey. That was announced, I think it was yesterday. And I'm going to Wibbly Wobbly Harley.
Wibbly boy. So well, I don't really have much input on that, Zed. Like I said, I just got off shift. I did see it. I'm surprised by that. I didn't think Harley was going to pursue it too aggressively, because their price point, I'm not sure greed drove it. I think that they sort of pioneered it. Therefore, the tech wasn't really there, and it cost them tons of money to make this electric motorcycle in the performance level that they did. So either they know now that they've got to sell it at more economical, or they, something's come up. I really am not sure about that, Zed. So maybe the other guys have more insight into that than I do.
I was very interested with sort of his background. Senior partner, head of the automotive and mobility practice in America, private equity firm. I mean, he's a big hitter, and it does say that he's looking at everything that he does relates tech providers, OEMs, retailers specific to the long range transition to electric vehicles and autonomous fleets.
Yeah, right.
He's worked extensively leading global and power sports, heavy equipment and automotive on developing digital channels, EV product strategy and software-based services. Harley's gone for a big guy. They really have. And it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder whether they're well. To me, they're taking the live wire seriously. It's not going to be like a passing.
Well, let's face it. They put tons into the engineering. So I mean, it's like the work is mostly done now. Now it's all refinement. It's not designing a whole new machine.
Yeah.
You're just refining the base of what you have. So I'm sure that's more economical than starting from scratch, like some companies will have to do, is my guess, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think of that, but
It'll be interesting to see what they do next.
yeah, and I see someone in the side here, Dunk. Problem with lithium is that the supply has virtually been snapped up by either China or large companies, and that's what I was alluding to. I believe that. I think, and if you want to, all these, we're all going electric. Take a look at what happened in Texas. That power grid failed.
Yeah,
and it didn't take. So there is nowhere near the infrastructure to handle everybody having an electric vehicle. Like California is on glue. By 2023 or 30, whatever it was, I don't pay that much attention up here, but we're all going to be electric. No, you're not, because your grid can't handle it. So, unless they're going to do like Tesla, you can get a solar charger for your car, right? You get the battery bank, the Tesla wall, they call it, and put it in your garage, and the solar panel keeps it charged, and that charges your car. So if the government wants to, shall we say, subsidize, like here, if you're going to have an EV, then here's 4 280-watt panels and a bank of batteries, and we're going to subsidize 50% of that. So you cough up $3,000 and we'll cough up $3,000 or whatever it's going to be. And there you go. That would be sustainable for a while. For the they do get inefficient, the panels, but you can keep replacing them and the batteries slowly. But to say that you're just going to completely flood the market with electric cars, you'll shut the whole grid down on the planet. It's just everybody all night in your entire country is going to plug in their electric car. And you know how that's going to turn out.
Yeah.
Then you had,
sorry, Rebon.
I was saying, if you sort of, I tend to watch sort of some really weird stuff on YouTube, but if you actually, there's a video of
is that how your computer failed?
It's about 10-15 years ago. Guy had a Volkswagen Beetle, and he actually made his own hydrogen cell for that Beetle, and he was actually going to launch the plans on the internet. And the guy disappeared, and they said, was it a big conspiracy by the Americans to shut him down? When you actually look at how easy it is to build a hydrogen cell and do it yourself from home, it's very, very easy. So why haven't the manufacturers figured out the planet is 90% water? Why are we not using hydrogen cells?
Was there not one of the countries now? I'm thinking Scandinavian, like Norway, Finland, somewhere like that have an H-way. It's a hydrogen way, and they've got hydrogen stations all the way along it, and they're actually testing hydrogen cars now.
Oh, right.
So and that's a really good point. And I think a lot of it though, like big trucks, semis, you guys call it, what do you guys call them over there? Lorries.
Arctics,
So hydrogen cell for those big beasts, absolutely perfect. And incorporate that into automotive too. But I think if you made that distinction sooner than later and said, okay, we're going to have hydrogen cell on buses and big transport trucks and even locomotives, And then, the smaller cars, the EVs and the bikes are battery. I don't think you're going to, I know Tesla built the big trucks, the semis that are electric. I don't think that's the reality. And I'll say it here, I don't believe it'll ever come to fruition and
No.
any volume. It doesn't make sense even. So, but Bikes, Beard, and Brews made a comment. I was reading that too, that the grid failed in Texas because of warnings. Yep, Texas had infrastructure warnings. And you know what, Houston, and I mean, that's everywhere. There's no money in infrastructure. And cities and states and provinces and countries, they don't keep up their infrastructure till it fails.
Yeah.
And theirs failed. So, but the point was not that the reason that they had the failure because of all the, sustainable power. It was that, yes, it was oil and gas. They don't dry their gas like we do up here because they don't quite have the problems that we do up here with weather. So our water content in our natural gas streams for use is a lot lower than it is in Houston or in Texas and the southern states. But there was not a chance that they had anywhere fractionally close to enough sustainable infrastructure to back up the oil and gas, and they found that out the hard way. But yeah, he's 100% correct. I did read that too, and that's my industry, so I was fully aware that they have infrastructure problems that they've never coughed up for, and it didn't bite him in the ass until it was snowing. So.
Even like see with the swappable batteries now, like all batteries have got a certain amount of cycles built into them, whether it's 5,000 cycles, 20,000 cycles, whatever how many cycles it is. Now, say for example, you've just bought your bike and you have brand new batteries and you put them into the bank and you take out 2 batteries and you put them in and they're on the last cycle. Who pays for the new batteries?
Yeah.
Good point.
Is it all incorporated in the price of the bike and they just keep replacing them as and when they need replaced, or is it your luck?
Good point, yeah.
It's like there's
it's not your decent batteries, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes, 100%. You've given away batteries with 4,999 cycles left in it. It's like no.
So, and I would like to.
Like I said, it's like some batteries.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, it's like I've noticed, like in the military, we have our signals equipment uses lithium and whatever batteries, and what you do is they're not all batteries are the same, have the same amount of power as well. So I could have a battery, and a same battery as the other one, but that one will only last 2 hours, that one will last 3 hours, or that one. You know what I mean? So they're not all 100%. So yeah, that's a good point, huh?
Yeah. That's you got to wonder about that. There's got to be there's so much to develop, right?
Yeah. I mean,
the whole structure of it. So
I found it very exciting and refreshing that there was so many manufacturers were willing to enter into an agreement, and I would like to see more of the manufacturers, even if the purpose of it is just to open the discussion up to the possibilities of there being a standardized battery throughout every sort of application, or if it's going to just be like small commuter scooters and small commuter bikes, then that's can you imagine? I mean, it would take cars and whatever out of towns and cities if people they could replace batteries here, there, and everywhere.
So, question for Rev then, maybe like maybe proportionally, how many scooters that you sell are electric versus gas
petrol?
Right now? Like, what do you think?
Well, I actually worked on our bike figures today, so I've just finalised our year up to January the 1st. Last year, 20 to 21, we sold 131. That is new bikes. Of electric, we sold 0. The 4 that I did the demos on are still sat in the showroom.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
the difference is obviously the average 50cc scooter If it's a petrol, you've got Twist and Go or you've got Geared. They're both the same price, 1,390. For £500 more, you can have the electric. But you say to a person, that's an electric. Yeah, but what happens if I'm at work? Well, your charger pack is with you. You just plug it in at work. Yeah, but and then a lot of people go, well, I live in a block of flats. I live on the 4th floor. How do I get my charger lead all the way down to the? Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's still
a valid point.
Because you guys, like, I don't know, Zed, it's probably the same in Scotland as you know, you guys have been telling me. So you pay your licensing based on CCs. We don't do that in Canada.
That's
you get a motorcycle license, and that's it. And it doesn't matter if it's 50 or 1,100. But so what about electric?
With electric,
well, I mean, electric, you would be free.
Yeah, electric. The vehicle, what they call the excise duty. So on up to 125, you'll pay £20. From 125 to I think it's 600, you pay a little bit proportionally higher. Obviously, mine's a 750, so I pay £96 a year. And then obviously, the more CCs you step up, the higher your excise bracket. With electrics, you pay no excise duty. You're allowed into London, so you haven't got to pay the £20 a day congestion charge. So it's what's called energy compliant. And then obviously, once you've paid for the bike, you're not putting petrol in the bike. So all you're doing is just paying just to charge your bike up on a daily basis.
So
it's a no-brainer. But then you get some people that go, oh, you know, but I live in a flat or I live in a house. I haven't got a garage. How do I plug my charger in outside the house?
Fair enough. But you'd think 4 bikes, you think that gets snapped up because you don't have to pay all that extra that you do with the petrol bikes.
When we actually looked at the insurance costs, if the average 16-year-old, so first bike out, over here, unless mummy and daddy are paying for your insurance, you're looking anywhere between £1,000 to £2,000 for your first lot of insurance. When we actually looked at doing electric for the same age bracket, you're half of that. You're between 500 to 1,000 because it's classed as electric. It's not a stealable item.
Yep.
See, that sure seems like a no-brainer to me. I'm surprised by that. But did you say that they're not allowed in London?
They are allowed in London, yeah. Electric bikes are allowed in. So what we have is obviously the outer ring of London, and then you've got what we call the central part of London. So that's Houses of Parliament all around the circle. If you own a car, or I don't know whether it applies to motorcycles, but it's normally around £20-25 a day to actually get into London, unless you've bought yourself a yearly ticket. With electric bike, you can go straight through the middle, no charge.
Huh.
So if you happen to be a city commuter, you know, if you live in central London and you work in the city in the banking area, jump on an electric scooter or an electric bike, and it's free every day.
See, like bigger cities here, like say Calgary, they have you just swipe your card, and they have all these racks of scooters, and it's electric, and you take off and go. The funny part is, clearly you don't want to wear a communal helmet because there's some dirty dudes and dudettes. You know what I mean? You're going to get somebody's bugs on your head. So, but we have helmet laws here. So what their solution was, if you rent an electric scooter in Calgary, you drive it down the sidewalk. So in downtown Calgary, where there's hundreds of people every block, looks just like New York City downtown, and you navigate your scooter down the sidewalk, and it's going over pretty good, I guess. You know, you can rent smart cars if you want to go farther. They're just the same thing. You just scan the QR code and away you go. And but now these scooters.
There we go. So Dunk's just messaged down the bottom saying yes, motorbikes are exempt from the congestion charge. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Wibbly said pay for parking still, Rev, though?
Yeah, you still got to pay for your parking, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Wibbly was this close to buying one till that. Do you see any, Jim, near your place, or Zed? Do you guys see electric scooters around or anything? Or
only the scooters that kids have. We've got those
Yeah.
you can get, but not electric scooters now. Everyone's still
I
going around on
can't
petrol.
see any coming in mainstream. We're only just starting to see a sort of feed of Teslas now, and that's taken a while. I think is it Edinburgh's the only Tesla dealership in Scotland. I might be wrong, but I'm sure that's the case. So they're not even sort of in every sort of major city or whatever yet.
See, the thing we have here in Milton Keynes is obviously we have Santander is obviously based in Milton Keynes, the bank. What we tend to do, most of the pubs in the area, or the local centres have these Santander bikes. So you can go up, swipe your card, and basically take an electric bicycle, and then you just take it back to the rack, push it into the rack, lock it up, and it takes a certain amount of money off your card. But what people have realised is what they can do now is obviously pinch someone's credit card, swipe it on one bike, swipe it on the second bike, swipe it on the third bike, take 3 bikes and strip it for spares.
Oh, gee.
Oh, nice one. Nice people.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Hey, clearly, Beards and Brews has the wrong impressions of Canadians in the side chat. You run into some scooter on the sidewalk, they'll beat the wheels off you. We're not nice people. We just pretend to be.
So following on from the sort of chat of where it looks like electric vehicles or electric batteries and whatever seems to be going, Jim sort of alluded to it a wee bit earlier on, and I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Porsche are to begin producing its own synthetic fuels in 2022. Now I have some statistics here, and I'll share the screen in a wee minute, but they're aiming for 55 million litres of fuel by 2024 and 10 times that amount by 2026. They're saying that there's no great horsepower reduction in their vehicles, and the reduction of CO2 should be around 85%. So what I'll do now is
what's the base stock, Zed? Does it have a petroleum base stock, or is it 100% synthetic, like no petroleum required?
I don't think it's got petroleum in it at all. They said that petroleum's got 30 ingredients, and I think they're saying that theirs has got between 7 and 9. I'm not 100% on that, but I'll share the screen and let you guys have a wee look at it. Forgive me for being on an automotive website.
I never even heard of this before.
So basically what they're saying is it has no impact on performance. Sometimes it actually increases the horsepower. I said it's going in the right direction, but emissions are way better. We see less particles, less NOx, and so it's going in the right direction. Down at the bottom there,
it's made from, Zed?
It doesn't elaborate.
Is it like a,
it doesn't elaborate. It just there's the sort of stats that I gave you there. 55 million litres of synthetic fuel by 2024, and roughly 10 times that amount. The usual, they're calling it an e-fuel. Everything's e something now, isn't it?
Yeah. Because it was like the diesel engines, wasn't it? They were running them off of, was it like rapeseed oil or something, wasn't it? I remember Le Mans they had. That's what you want, isn't it? Is you want something that's sustainable that you can either grow and and then obviously make it from that, innit? And rather than using up the resources of the earth, because it's like you said, because like lithium and everything else, we've got to dig it out of the ground. And if you've got it's only a finite amount of stuff that you can get, isn't there? And then it's gone. So, like you said, you need to come up with something that you can keep producing. So,
what they're actually saying here is it's an artificial synthetic fuel. It says you have no byproducts, so it's way cleaner and everything positive for the engine.
Yeah. Because the drama is, and this is the thing, isn't it? With obviously with crude oil, it's not just the fact that it's the crude oil, but it's everything that comes off of the crude oil. So we only use, when we pump it out the ground, we only use a certain amount of the refinery. Everything else, all your plastics, everything else is produced from crude. There's a lot of stuff that's produced from crude oil. So if you can't,
I work in the plastics
it out the
industry
ground because we need crude oil,
of course,
for everything else that we produce. So it's
never going to eliminate it. I mean, all these things.
No, you're not. Yeah,
but you'll never eliminate it for coal.
No, you
whether
can't.
you're still mining coal, you're not making steel. You know, it's not just for heating.
Yeah.
Coal is to make steel grade ore. So, that's really interesting. That's cool. I'll be curious to see how that comes along. You know, and the funny thing is, I think Jim, you just said, you know, the diesels were using canola oil and rapeseed oil, and you know, it's funny, they were going to put a really, really big biodiesel plant not too far from where I live here, and all over the world, all the professionally offended got choked because now we're going to burn food in our cars. Oh, you can't win with these people.
No, you can't.
So I don't know what to say. You just sometimes you got to draw a line somewhere and just say, you know, this is what we're going to do because it's way better for the environment. You're just never going to make everybody happy all the time. So.
No. The other thing, the other drama. Sorry, I was going to say, because I remember we had a discussion with someone in the petroleum industry, and they were saying the other big drama is obviously jet airliners, because they still haven't come up with a viable replacement for jet engines at the minute. So I know they're working on electric ones at the minute, but there is air transport. There isn't anything. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's mental. So until they go over that,
Have they not tried looking at some sort of turbine that harvests? Obviously, when they're on their descent, it comes out and it harvests the electricity that way.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there's something that they're working on.
You have the drop downs that if they have hydraulic failure. Some of the Boeings, and there is a small wind turbines that drop down, and that will power auxiliary. So maybe you can make power the same way.
Yeah,
why not?
I know you had the Ram jet engines that used oxygen, but
I'll pass on getting.
No, I certainly wouldn't be keen to sit in a plane and just hurtling down the runway and there's no sound. No.
We'll be getting on one of those starships. Elon Musk's, we'll be getting on those soon. So
going to Mars.
Quick one from Carl. So, question from bikes in for service next week should be the big one. BMW say because the bike hasn't done much miles because of lockdown, it only needs a quick, cheap service. I would say I would get it fully checked out, get them to at least check your plugs. The minimum that we would do on any service with our place, bare basics, is a full bulk check, 90-point bulk check. Oil change is bare minimum on any bike, but I would get them to at least check the plugs on it at the same time. Especially if you've got iridiums on. Iridium plugs are normally pretty good. They'll last you quite a bit of mileage compared to your standard plugs, but I would get them to at least check everything out. And we had one the other day. He actually said, I had my service 6 months ago. I've only been, I think I've done 400 miles, but why is my engine oil really black? And why did it go black after the first week? Engine oil will go black after the first week. It's not going to stay clear for the rest of your life. So yeah, bare minimum on that, Cole. At least get an oil change on it.
That's good. You know, people say, "Oh, my oil's dirty right away." Well, then you're using good oil, because if your oil's clean, that means all that shit is depositing on the engine on the inside.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oil will get dirty really quickly. That's one of its properties, is to suspend it within itself. So, yeah, don't be afraid, people. If your oil turns black, that's a good thing.
What I tend to advise people to do is. There is a very, very good product out, Liquid Moly. They do shooters for the fuel tank, so you can fuel additives. They also do a Liquid Moly. It looks like a mini tube of toothpaste. One of those in your oil, and it's got liquid molybdenum in them. So molybdenum in oil is very, very good, and it just keeps your bearings just nicely lubricated, a little bit more than what oil would do.
I might actually look into that because the Big Z's prone to spitting out big end bearing shells.
Yeah, blowing cranks and spitting out.
Oil,
You
oil starvation.
This is
Yeah,
where you
liquid, if you actually look at liquid moly oil shooters, and it literally looks like a small tube of toothpaste. One of those in the oil every oil change. I tend to use one all the time in my ZX, so never had an issue yet.
Right. Quick.
That was the thing I was going to ask you there, Bomb. Did you see the wee thing that 44 Teeth said about the ZX7R?
Yes. I'm not selling mine.
Hold on to it.
Hold on to it, yeah. Which is what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever actually met that guy? Have you ever been to his shop,
Sorry?
you guys? Any of you been to 44 Teeth's shop?
No, but I might have to pay a visit.
Aye.
I think he sounds like a pretty interesting fella.
Definitely. Is it James JHS Racing, isn't that?
Wibbly,
Yeah, it's
you better-
JHS. Yeah, JHS
Aye.
Racing's where James works, isn't it? It's where they do that's a separate company, isn't it? And then the Baron, isn't it? Because it's Baron von Grumble, isn't it?
Baron von Grumble,
they set up 44 Teeth, but he's bought his own. I think he sells his own bikes as well now, doesn't he? Because I remember watching one of his vlogs, and he's bought.
Is he part of a place where
he sells bikes?
he was using?
I don't think so.
He
I know
was using
I know they've got
Barnstormer.
links. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use a lot of. They do. They've got affiliate links and that with them, but I know he bought his own separate,
right,
like place, like an industrial unit. I remember watching a vlog last summer, I think it was, or sometime.
He owned a company called Dead Pixels, and basically see like all your animation on adverts and stuff like that. That's what he did. That's what he was doing when he was down in London. So like I think there was one of the British Gas adverts where there was a wee guy walking around the globe. That was his company that made that.
Ah, right.
That was at the time that he. That's at the time that he never showed his face, and everyone was delving into internet to try and find out who he was. Somebody found out where he worked, and he was actually a director for the company. And I think at the time he was getting his company to edit all his vlogs for him.
Can I show you guys a picture? You can tell if you've ever seen one of these before. I've never seen one of these before, and I was out today. It says Daihatsu on the back.
Oh,
I've never seen anything. They're in this car, and they were like this. They were shoulder to shoulder. It was no bigger than my go-kart when I was a kid. It was hilarious, but what a neat little car. I just surprised to see one over here. And it was left-hand drive, and I don't know where. Is that Chinese or Japanese or something? I've never actually.
I think Daihatsu, Japanese, I think, yeah.
It said Daihatsu Midget 2 on the back. But yeah, these two guys and the tunes coming out of this thing, they're both just rocking. It was hysterical. I just never seen anything like that. We don't
I'll
have
tell
a
you
lot
what, they have a heated rear windscreen on those.
Oh, that's to keep your hands warm when you're pushing.
Hands warm when you're pushing it.
like a Chevy tailgate,
You're thinking of small cars. It's like you've probably never seen one of these, Brad.
What is that?
That is a Kia Picanto. That is my car that I drive.
Oh, is that right? Nice. Wibbly, how's my heated grips? I don't know, man. Can't ride yet. It's still winter here. We say it was minus 10 this morning, and we just got over our minus 40 and minus 50 crap. So, no get to try out the heated grips yet. So,
just saying a wee hello to Alexander.
Hi, Alex.
Just come into the. I know him very, very well. It's my 13-year-old son, so he's in the next room. So it's a bit of a demon. He's 13, mate.
Well, so we can still swear.
Oh, I listen.
Yeah.
You could teach me if I have to.
You got 10
it's like,
minutes and get out of bed.
Yeah.
he's a demon on the scooter. He's like a stunt scooter rider. So
Oh yeah, we saw that. Yeah,
the last live stream I did, I think I put a wee clip of him
I see.
riding
You
on
put
it.
the clip up of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's absolutely brilliant. He's chomping at the bit for lockdown to be released, so as the skate
I
park
bet.
can
Not
open
long.
up again.
Not long.
It's a shame for the kids.
Shocking.
You know, you don't realise.
Yeah.
So
There's gonna
Jim,
be a lot of people with messed up heads.
Yeah,
Say again,
100%.
mate.
how's retirement?
Oh, it's all right, boys. But I was saying to Zed, it's boring now because I'm on leave. I can't go nowhere. I can't ride anywhere. I'm just like, and the weather's crap as well. That's not helping. So I haven't been out this week. So
Well, I thought
I'm just
maybe
like,
you'd
I
be
need an
doing.
excuse to get out on the bike.
I thought you maybe
Bit
you'd
of,
be doing
bit of decorating.
Yeah, finally Tuesday, finally Wednesday, finally Thursday.
Oh no, no, I've not been out once this week because the weather's been that crap, and I've had to do some stuff at work. Well, I've had to go into work to do some stuff, but yeah, it's crap. I'm getting a bit. What do you call it? Cabin fever. I need to get out.
Stuff crazy.
Yeah, it's only been a week, and I'm getting stir crazy already.
Yep.
Zed, are you guys allowed out in Scotland yet?
No. The date that's getting muted about is the 26th of April.
wow.
What's happening is the kids are getting phased back just now, so they're getting in like a couple of half days, and that's in the lead up to our Easter holidays, and then they're off for 19 days, and then they'll be going back full time. So I think once they go back full time, then they'll start releasing the lockdown.
Evening basic.
Yeah, basics in.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
because
basic
I don't know
bikers
what the
in.
rules are for us. Because obviously, when they go to Europe, but I don't know what the rules are at the minute. I mean, I've looked on the web and that, and everyone's still in lockdown in Europe. You can't really.
All the same
drive
here.
over there, I
So
don't think.
yeah, I think the cafe, all the bike cafes open up here May the 17th. So that's the first day that you can get out.
Fucking hell.
You're going straight to Super Sausage, aren't you?
Straight to the sausage.
Yeah. Straight to the sausage.
I'll tell you what, right? Have a look at the Harley that I rode for the customer the other day. We had that Nightster in. We actually picked up on an issue on it. It went over to the Harley dealers today. Whoever had it before has remapped it wrong. That's what the issue was with the lag on the when we were running it on normal. It kept cutting out on one cylinder, and then you give it some beans and it'd kick in. I took it out and gave it a blast, but then the boss rode it over to the Harley dealers today, and then the bloke looked at it and he went, "Yeah, I know exactly what it is. Needs remapping."
So somebody's got it wrong then.
What was the bike?
So 1200 Nightster. So it's basically the Sportster, but they call it the Nightster.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it. It was loud.
Did any of you see the post that burning ass hauling gas put on, or burning gas hauling ass? I got that wrong.
Burning gas.
Did you see the picture of the
You were
engine?
right the first time. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
do you know what made me say that? Because in one of his shorts, one of the first shorts, he actually got it wrong himself. Did you see the picture of the engine that he put on?
Well, was
Nice.
it a 147 or whatever?
Aye.
Yeah.
He's like, I need another project.
Wibbly, no idea on that one. So I just ride the damn things. I'm not technically minded, so I'm just given the bikes. I just go out and ride the damn thing. So hopefully get it back tomorrow. So I'm going to do another future video, just show the before and after performance of it. But good God, when I hit that throttle, it's like rip your arms off time. I didn't realise a Harley would have so much torque behind it. It was like, It was nice. It was nice. It doesn't compare to the ZZR acceleration, but it's got that low end grunt. It's like
I mean, like I had the ZRX 1200S before I had the ZZR 1400, and I like the power delivery better in the ZRX than I do the ZZR. There, I said it. You know, it's an out and out is an out and out muscle bike. The ZRX. It was a beautiful bike.
That's it. That's the one that's more like the coffin tank and the more upright one, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I had a set of rental wide bars on it. It's quite an upright stance, quite an aggressive riding position. But you were more straight back, your legs sort of slightly further forward. I didn't feel cramped on it. It was a great bike.
I thought that was one of the cool things about the Damon. With a flick of a switch, it changes the rider position. It moves the bars and it moves the foot peg to take you from a more aggressive position to a more relaxed city position. And I see manual kits for your guys' bikes out there, but I thought to incorporate that in the design was pretty intelligent.
Definitely. And does the Pan America not have something very similar? Like when you're pulling up, it actually lowers itself.
Yeah.
As well to allow you.
High spec model. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ride height.
Is it? I thought that was the standard. Is it?
No, I think it's a higher spec one. I think you have to pay extra.
You have to have the top line one. Actually, Anonymous is in here, and he's pretty versed on those bikes. And I think it's just the top line bike that gives you the change in seat height there.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I might be able to get a test ride though. I Harley phoned me up actually. What was it? Monday, I think it was. They phoned me up because I put on they had a link on Instagram or something if you want to test ride one. And then they phoned me back on Monday, and they said about in April. I think it's April time. They're going to have some demo models. So
Triumph are doing that as well.
Get hands on one. Yeah.
Good. Just as you've said, Triumph Rev Bomb. We're going to go on to the next topic. The Rocket 3R Black and the Rocket 3
Already
Triple
seen
Black.
it. Already
Limited
seen
edition.
It.
Launched by Triumph. Now, again, I'm going to share a little screen. Let you have a look at it. Where are we? Just, there we go.
Are they just black, are they?
Absolutely. You've got black and silver, and then you've got the pure matte black.
Right.
I'll just sequence through the pictures.
There we go. So that's your matte black one.
Yep. Now, according to Triumph, 44 Teeth actually did a review where one of the boys went to Triumph and saw both the bikes. Now, there doesn't seem to be any engine modifications. There doesn't seem to be any upgrades. It's basically two different colors. Yep, it's two different colorways. And exclusivity, obviously they've got a bit of carbon fibre thrown in as well. And bar end mirrors. So it's aesthetics more than it is anything else. And they basically say that they don't need to do anything to the engine because the engine's everything that it is anyway, with the spec that it has. Now, the bike is strictly limited to just 1,000 examples globally, and they haven't even decided the allocation for each country yet. So each version will arrive with a certificate of authenticity and the bike's VIN to the special edition bloodline.
Sounds expensive.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
I think it's an extra. Going from what I was told, it's an extra £1,000 to £1,500 more than the standard bike.
That's what was said on the. That's what was said on the stream that I saw. Was that it would be £1,000, £1,500, but your name's down on a waiting list, and you can't even guarantee that you're going to get one because, like I say, Triumph aren't even disclosing how many are actually coming into the country or where they're going.
Someone's actually beat Triumph to it already. So there was a post on, I think if you look on my Instagram friends, I can't remember who did it, but he's took the standard Rocket. He had the black and silver one. And he's actually had the entire bike stripped, and they sprayed it down with. It's like a matte black paint, but it's the stuff that they put on the bottom of truck beds.
Armor
Oh, yeah.
So, like the armor rubber coat. He's
Uh-huh.
had the entire bike done on it. And he's got the Batman logos on the tank, and it does
Yeah.
look like the Batman bike.
Yeah. That's what I
I
was
know
going
of-
to say. What's the? I know it's a special edition, but I know, like when Ducati bought out the what was it, the Senna bike, didn't they? And then you had the Lewis Hamilton bike, and other companies have done. What's the? Yeah. Oh wow, it's black. Why didn't they could have done that. If they'd done Batman,
I don't know.
quite
I
cool,
don't know
because
who.
the new Batman
I don't
movie's
know who
coming out as well.
I don't know who they're aiming it at.
Yeah.
I don't know what market is. I don't know. I don't know what.
Collectors.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be, and it will be. Sadly, I think most of them will end up dust collectors. Somebody will just be polishing them from time to time and not riding.
If you're going to buy the Rocket, then why not just go for the THC version, which is all carbon, all gold and black?
Mark my words, Jay Leno will have one.
Yeah.
He gets one of everything that's new. Doesn't matter what
Yeah,
country.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like for all you peasants out there, no, you can't have it. We're just going to copy you. This is what you could have, but you're not going to have it.
I watched a video of them on the Y2K with the Bell Jet Ranger engine in it. His bike.
Oh yeah.
And he was telling
That's
a story.
cool.
It was like a wee a Honda pulled up behind him with the body kit on it and whatever. And he said, I don't think he realised that I was on my jet bike, but by the time I pulled away from the traffic lights, his bumper was melted and lying on the ground.
Now there is obviously, if we're talking specialist bikes here, I don't know who makes it. Oh, but I was hunting around YouTube, and what the hell's that? And I think it's called a Lazarus. But it's basically two wheels right close together at the front and two wheels close together at the rear, and both steer. But it's got a V12 engine in it.
Right.
I'm sure it's called the Lazarus, and you literally lay across the top of the engine. But that is designed. I think Italian design on it.
Keep an eye on your stuff.
Find you the full name on it.
That sounds sketchy.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's called a Lazarus
That's
or something.
That's what I can't understand. I was thinking about this because they 44 Teeth touched on the new Aprilia RSVs coming out, and they showed the paint scheme for that, and that's like that matte stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were saying it looked a bit,
there it is.
Plain in that. Oh right.
Yeah, It's called the LM847 Lazareth. So LAZARETH V8 powered motorcycle. And they've actually made another version now where the wheels actually spin over onto their sides, and it becomes a four-wheel helicopter.
All right. A drone.
Cool.
That's certainly different.
I think it's about £250,000. So.
Oh.
I'll have two.
Yeah. We'll go out and rob someone tomorrow.
Oh, definitely. I think I'd be selling one of the kids to Madonna.
Yeah.
Crazy. I know. So who's buying a new bike this year?
Mine's on hold at the moment, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thrown a spanner in the works because, like I said, I was looking at getting a new second hand. You know what I mean? Well, I'm going to go and test ride this Harley and see what happens with that. But because they're quite, they're quite cheap. Well, say cheap for a brand. I mean, the bottom range spec one in the UK is about just under 15 grand. But I wanted I was going to get a separate tourer or a naked or something or a cruiser. But the way things are at the minute, you just can't. It'd be a waste of time because it'd be sat in a garage.
exactly the same as mine. Mine will just be sat at the side of the house rusting. So.
Yeah,
It's being put on hold.
I can't justify it.
So, given your roads over there, do you think would you be more inclined to get like a adventure bike with some panniers on, rather than a big bagger like mine, big ultra classic that's a little more lazy and slow, and because of your traffic that you have over there?
Yeah, so the ultra with yours, I'll probably go a step down from that. So like the Road King or something that's still got the bags, but not quite as big. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good with Harleys, but again, the adventure bikes, it depends. I mean, if you go for like a full-on GS adventure, they're huge. And when you start loading them up with like kit, the weight and that on them, I mean, they're like a big lorry going down, articulated lorry when you see them coming down the road. They really dominate the road, but I don't know.
Get yourself a Z,
I
Jim,
want to see
because then
this
you just
Harley.
put the
See how
panniers on the
big that is.
side.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that as well. That's why I was disappointed with the Hayabusa. I thought they could have took that down. They could have gone down a really good route with that. They could have had a hyper sports bike with the luggage built in, and then when you get to where you want to go, you take the luggage off, and you've got like a sports bike for going around the road.
Yeah.
Get to your hotel, take the luggage. But they haven't
They
gone. They
missed
haven't innovated.
They missed a trick.
They haven't innovated at all. It's
like you said, they could have aerodynamically had them mounted on the bike.
Yeah. And then you just
snap on,
take
snap
them off,
off.
and the bike looks good. Yeah,
100%.
So you
100%.
Yeah.
So Zed, are you a sport biker till you die, or you consider getting an adventure bike or a more of a?
I'm having a look at a couple of bikes, to be quite honest. I've been looking at Indian Street Bobber as one.
Yes,
nice.
So hence the Indian up there. It's like Indians have always like my favourite film is The World's Fastest Indian with Burt Munro.
Oh, that's a good show. Yep.
I love that. That film, the actual story behind it is absolutely tremendous, and how he developed that bike. So Indian's always been sort of in the back of my mind all the way through sort of my sort of biking career. But no, I'm willing to sort of go and try loads of different brands of bike. You know, it's like the last 3 bikes that I've owned have all been Kawasaki. And the ZZR that I've got just now, I think I've not got long actually before I actually own it outright. So once I do, it will become one of many in the garage.
It's a trap.
I paid off. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, now what do I want to get? No, I want to stay out of debt.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I might give Indian another look after watching Anonymous Biker. His video on his one, because he was looking, would he swap his bike for the new one that's coming out, new Indian.
Well, like, Jim, I went on to Crazy Horse Customs. Who, they built Guy Martin's Indian that did the Wall of Death ride.
Yeah, that's right. They're just down the road from me. Yeah.
And that's where I saw the Street Bobber, and what caught my eye, it was my favourite colour scheme on a bike's red and black. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And they had one for sale there for 10 grand, and it was like, and they had the Crazy Horse reg plate to the side, and it had all the wee accents already done to it. So it's maybe one for the future.
I wouldn't be opposed to an Indian for sure. You
do like with his comment, can you be a Z-head and ride an Indian? No, if you rode a bobber, could be bobblehead.
You're a big dog bus.
That's funny. Yeah, I know. Like Salty and Sprinkles. He's a big Indian fan. He's got a nice bike. Raves about the performance of that bike, right? So, and honestly, I've never ridden one, but I've ridden with them, and they pull out pretty hard. So I think nothing wrong with that, and they're good looking. So.
Oh, by the way, Stu, you sent me a friend's request on Facebook. I hit the wrong button, so I've sent you one back.
Not a problem with it.
It's been requested, but it's not been accepted yet.
Right, I'll get on it.
Yeah, just look for Doctor Who.
Anonymous biker trying to sales pitch me here.
You
look good on Indian Springfield.
I don't know. I considered it. I thought about it, and I thought about even going like up to say a 16 or 17 Ultra Classic, and you know what? Mine's an 07, It's fuel injected.
Back in a second.
I have no issues with it. I've got a 96. It's not the biggest or the most powerful for sure, but I used to have that. I used to have a GSX 1100. I know what it feels like to be able to pull your front wheel up at 100 miles an hour, but I'm not there anymore. No,
well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. So, yeah.
I just go and travel like Scouse does, right? Get on the highway and go to the mountains and cruise around, smell the air, check out the wildlife. That's what it is for me now. And
see the
that's
thing
what I liked about
this.
the cruise. Oh yeah, sorry, go on, Zed.
Yeah, the ZZR can do that.
Can do all that.
No, it's like it's if you get past a quarter of a turn on the throttle, that's where you're going
the
like a
thing I
screaming
found,
band.
Zed, is when you got the cruiser. So like when I went out to Canada and I had the night rod. My mates and that had Road Kings, and I went for a night rod. But it's just that position, mate. Because it's like you're sat in your armchair like I am now, and you're just there, and you still got the straight line speed. But all bikes are fast anyway, aren't they? But it's just like you can just take everything in. It's just whereas a sports bike or a sports toy, you're still kind of like you're hunched over a little bit, aren't you? But you're not relaxed. You're not as relaxed, I should say. I think the expression is.
Good magazine, obviously out this month. The new issue of What Bike, 2021. So if you get this month, but what they've done, 416 bikes they've reviewed. So what they've done every single bike that is out. So there's literally 416 bikes, and they reckon. The Indian Scout 60, the Indian Chief Vintage, the Indian Roadmaster, and the Dark Horse, Indian Challenger Dark Horse are the best ones to go for. What they've done along the top is they've got loads of little things that tell you. So what is best for touring, great for showing off, twisty road specialities, great ride quality, traffic buster. But the one that I do like is a little picture of a speed camera on there. And the only two bikes in this magazine that bring up that one are the Kawasaki H2 and the Kawasaki ZZR license takers.
Yes. Yep. I did a vlog, and it was 5 things I dislike about my bike, and two of them were one was speed, and one was the fact that it will take my license. So you have to be very conscious of when and where you're doing certain things.
But most of the bikes in here, as you can see, they've all got quite a few. But when you actually go to the Harley Livewire, just the one.
Yeah.
All right for in town.
Well, really, I just thought it was stupid taking it on it from the bottom of the earth to the top of the earth. I mean, it's not practical. It wasn't realistic. And, you didn't see what that bike can do. You had a whole crew of people to get those bikes up here. So great city bike. I'd have one. But
should have been the Pan American, like you said, didn't it? You said before.
Yeah. 100%. They missed a trick. They really did. I mean, they're trying to tell everyone how good it is now. So why give it to you and Charlie and let them show us?
Charlie's he's ratched. I don't think we're gonna see Borman do anymore. I love the guy, but he's been beat up so bad.
I think that leg break was quite severe.
Yeah. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see McEwen do another one, and maybe with the Pan American. He already has a relationship with Harley, so I would like to see that myself.
Need to give it to some motor vloggers.
That would be good. That would be good.
Take them out and do some vlogs on them. Take them all over the Europe and stuff. And
they're gonna say, Jim and Brad, they motovlog together. They know how to do this thing. We're gonna get. You're gonna meet somewhere.
Mate, pay me. I'll come over to Canada. Come over. We go all around North America.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy, isn't it? Mental.
So, wouldn't that be fun?
I know.
We're talking about sports bikes. Did you see what's his name? Oh, I forgot his bleeding name now. The Australian guy who takes his Harleys off road.
Oh, Bogan, Million Dog Bogan.
Bogan, isn't he? Bought an R1.
Yeah.
What a bell end. I think he's going to use it. I think he's going to use it as a track bike, isn't he? He's like, I think it's because his girlfriend. You see that video? He's obviously got a new girlfriend. She's got a sports bike, and I was like, oh, it's one-upmanship. That's what it is. She's got
I'll give him 10 minutes on it before he dumps it.
Well, he got on it, didn't he?
No.
This is light. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah.
He'll have it on a beach, or he'll have it. It's like becomes
I think he's
very
using
much
it
of
for
a
track days. I think.
Right.
It's like a bit late for that now. He's calmed down. He's gone reverse, isn't he? He's gone. His age, you're going the other way. Not getting bloody sports bike.
Right, guys, we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes, and I did say that I was going to make this one a live stream for an hour. So we've covered some We've covered some very, very interesting topics, and I thoroughly appreciate all your opinions on what we've been discussing tonight. I would just like to thank Jim. I would like to thank Revbomb. I would like to thank Brad for coming on to my live stream tonight. I greatly appreciate your time, gents, and obviously your input on what we've been talking about. Thank you very much, everybody, for being on the live chat as well. It's been great trying to keep up with everything. I feel as if I'm patting my head and rubbing my tummy here. I think we winged it, boys.
And don't forget mention for tomorrow night as well.
Yes, there's a big live stream tomorrow night. The Military Biker has a very, very special guest on tomorrow night.
Adam
So
Sandoval.
get onto that, and I hope to see you all there. So
Good.
for now, guys, thank you very much. Take care and stay safe.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us in. Yeah, much appreciated.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, boys.
Hanging out with you guys. I wish we all lived together and could go to.
That's that. Absolutely.
Be like a giant frat house.
Old bikers.
So thanks very much, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you again.
Cheers. Take care. Good night, all.